So there's a referendum coming up later this year which is on the proposed new voting system, the alternative vote. And in that referendum, people will be given a choice as to whether they want to move to a new voting system by voting yes, or keeping the existing voting system by voting no.
But the government has decided that it wants to ask the people how on earth we're going to decide who's elected. So basically the government says, OK, we're not going to decide this time, it's down to the people. What do you want to do? So do you want the current system which applies as first past the post, or do you want to change that to the alternative vote which is on offer at this referendum?
The decision is to change from using the first past the post system, where you just put an X in a box by one candidate, to the alternative vote where you number the candidates in order of preference. So 1, 2, 3. And if there's a yes vote, the system will change. If there's a no vote, the system will stay as it is.
So, for instance, we have had referendums on devolution, things that change constitutionally what happens to Britain. So on devolved assemblies, entry into the common market, and now we're going to have a referendum on changing the voting system or not.
Well, the issues that have gone in the past is whether Scotland should have its own parliament, whether Wales should have its own government, whether the United Kingdom should stay a member of the European Union. And just the other day in Wales was another referendum on whether more powers should be given to the Parliament in Wales. We've also occasionally had referendums 20 years ago on things like whether pubs should open on Sunday. So it's up to Parliament to decide what subjects are the subject of referendum. In this country they're very rare. In countries like Switzerland they happen all the time.
They tend to be what I would call constitutional, political and electoral issues. So we don't have referendums on every pertinent or poignant issue that is in the political agenda. Otherwise we'd be having them all the time.
Of course, the last referendum we had was 36 years ago as to whether we should be in Europe or we should not be. Personally, I would like to see the use of more referendums. I can think of, I'm sure there are other things where we should say, actually, is this something that the country should vote on, yes or no? So I think it's a good thing to put to the country because everyone gets a say.